So a question you might have is, can you shoot telephoto fast prime lenses or normal length fast prime lenses in the forest? There's a proliferation of zoom lenses, whether they're normal zoom lenses or telephoto zoom lenses. That's the most common thing for people to buy, but it's also usually the most expensive thing for people to buy. The other trade-off usually has been that telephoto lenses maybe don't quite have the image quality that a prime lens has. That's not always true any longer. Some of the manufacturers have made some really great telephoto zoom lenses, and they made some really great normal zoom lenses. The new 24-105 f2.8 from Canon is a good example. Sony makes some really good ones. Obviously Zeiss and others make really good zoom lenses at both normal focal lengths and telephoto focal lengths. But they're very, very expensive. Prime lenses can deliver really great image quality at a fraction of the price, especially if you're shooting Canon EF lenses, which are readily available, easily adaptable, and if you have already got Canon DSLRs, they mount right up to the mount on the camera. So today we're going to be shooting with some of those. Denise has the 1DC, and she has the Canon 35mm f2 IS lens, which is kind of a unique lens. Many 35mm primes don't have IS. They do get a little bit of a faster aperture, usually to f1.4, like the Canon 35mm f1.4 L2. But that's very expensive by comparison. This was only a few $100s versus, close to $1,500 or $1,600 for the other. I'll meanwhile be shooting with the very ancient Canon 1DS Mark III camera, which I think is a really fantastic camera, although not quite so much in low light, but has a lot of great characteristics. And I matched it up with one of Canon's oldest prime lenses, the 200mm f2.8 prime, which again you can get for the fraction of the price of say the 70-200 f2.8, which is an admittedly great lens, and we have one, but for the price, the value, the quality that you get with the 200mm f2.8, it's a really good proposition for shooting on a budget. So we're going to take those out into the forest behind our camera workshop here and see what they can do. So I'm vlogging again on the 1DX Mark II. Did I mention this thing's really heavy to do this with? I got the image stabilization on because my arm is shaking. So we just scared up a ruffed grouse that took off through the woods, which they'll do. And Denise, didn't we have some deer out here this afternoon?
We sure did. They were waiting for your apple cores.
So I managed to get a couple photos of the one doe that was, whoops, I should point this at me. I managed to get a couple photos of the one doe that was out here. So we'll show you what those look like. I used the 200mm f2.8 for that. I think they turned out okay.
How do I look?
You look very girly.
I look fat in this big old...
Well, you're wearing a sweatshirt, a jacket, and a big-ass sweater vest.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's not that cold out here.
I'm actually a little cool.
I don't know how you can be a little cool in that. You're dressed like you're going on an Arctic expedition. I mean, it's 45 degrees.
Yeah.
It's not that cold.
Well, I know, for some people.
Watch your head by the branch
You
there.
don't want to take off my audio recorder?
Don't want you to lose that. So how do you think your lens is working so far?
I don't know. I mean, this is, I don't know. I took one picture.
The last time you used that lens, do you remember what happened?
Oh, was that at the wedding?
We were shooting a wedding the last time you used that lens.
Yeah.
What happened? It had an instant, I think.
It did. Oh, I don't think my lens was connected all the way. Somehow
No. Didn't that go rolling across the dance floor?
Yeah, it wasn't.
But the lens hood took the brunt of the impact, right?
Thank goodness, right? Yeah.
So this isn't the Canon lens hood because the Canon lens hood ended up smashed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not the kind of, but
It still works.
It still works. Yeah, but the main thing is the lens survived.
The lens survived.
Yeah.
So I think that's just the toughness of Canon lenses, don't you think?
I think so.
So I think we got our money's worth out of that lens.
I agree, yeah.
So that lens cost us $499.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much a bargain. I think people can go on MPB or KEH right now and get that for much less.
Right.
Makes it a real good bargain. It's really nice that it's just really nice to come out and do photography together and do other things together. I like that.
Yeah.
And it's just nice. You know, a lot of times you have to go out in the woods and do everything by yourself, and it's better to bring you along.
Oh, that's sweet. And I come with you even though I'm afraid of the bears.
Well, the only wildlife we saw today was a ruffed grouse and a deer.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But if we're lucky, maybe you'll see a bobcat.
That would be kind of cool.
You ran into a bobcat at least twice out in this woods.
Yeah. And then we've been out in our yard late at night and it's pitch black, and you know me, I can't see anything at night anyway.
It's not pitch black. You can see.
But I could hear some hissing, and I'm thinking that's a bobcat, and I'm thinking it's pretty darn close.
Yeah, you were right up to it, I think.
Yeah. But I couldn't see it, so.
Well, you should have just came back out with some Temptations treats.
Yeah. I don't think our kitties would have liked that.
They don't want to share.
No. Can you smell the freshness of our woods? It's amazing.
Does it smell like a, what do you think, like those bubble things that you shake?
Oh,
Snow
you-
globe. Does it
snow
smell
globe?
like a Christmas snow globe out here?
Smell like a Christmas snow globe? Better.
So anyway, I have my camera ready to go here. I'm shooting on manual. No IS on this lens, so I've got a 400th of a second shutter speed to kind of take away my motion blur for being shaky. I'm going to use f2.8, and this camera is not renowned for its low light capability, so I'm going to stay at an ISO of 400. At least I'm going to try and see if that's enough for this situation. And I think I've got kind of a lane right here with the grasses and the brush, and over there at the end of the meadow across, you can't see it, but the river is over there, and a couple of trees in between the balsam fir growing up for a little bit of contrast. So I'm just going to see if we can get a shot right there. And I think that's kind of neat to look at least through the viewfinder. And I'm a little underexposed according to the meter, but I think that's okay. Yeah, that's really a moody shot, being a little underexposed. I'm going to try it with a little more ISO just to see. So that's the same shot, and oh, that looks really nice. I think that's, in either shot, I think is probably going to work. Now this camera's LCD is, when it was released, pretty decent compared to other cameras by today's standards. It's really hard to know looking at it if you really got anything in focus or if the color's any good or the contrast. So, yeah, it's hard to say. I'm cautiously optimistic though. So in that shot, what I did was I have 4 trees. I've got a dead balsam fir, I've got a popple, I've got another popple, and then I've got a popple back there. 4 primary trees, and far behind a white pine. And I just tried to get them all in an interesting angle through here, so we'll see how that turned out. And I probably should take Denise's picture. Now, one thing about this lens, like many lenses, it has a range limitation on it. You can either be from 3.5 meters to infinity or 1.5 meters to infinity. Again, the 3.5 to infinity speeds up your focus, but that can't get Denise in focus because I'm too close to her, so I have to switch that off. So here we go. And Denise is hearing critters in the woods.
Yeah. So my eyes were probably pretty wide.
They were. What'd you hear back there?
I just heard a noise, some rustling of the leaves. So there's something walking back here, walking around back here.
Well, that doe,
Yeah.
this is where she came.
You think it's the doe?
Yeah.
Okay.
And remember, we had a trail camera on that tree over there.
This one right here?
Yeah, right on that one, actually. We had a trail camera there
Yeah.
last year at this time. Remember all the deer through here all the time?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, we can hope that it's just a deer.
The deer like our trail.
Yep, I hope so. Oh, it's hard to. Oh. It came off my. Oh, are we still connected here? Okay. Well, no. Whose idea was this to put these on as hats? I mean,
I thought I'd try it.
well, yeah. And look, it's not working
I
for
put
me.
mine off to the side a little bit.
There we are. How's that? Okay, let's see here. Something's going on here. What did I do? Turn off my. Well, let's see. I don't know. Okay, we're still good. We're still good. Okay, so let me see.
While you're thinking about that, a week ago, it was Halloween, I think. Was it Halloween? I think it was Halloween afternoon, a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I came out here with this camera, the 1DX, that's filming this, and shot the first snowfall.
Yeah.
So you can check out that video.
Yep, in the link below. Or at the end of this video. So let's see. Let me go over this way where you were. Well, you can tell where the deer have been bedding down in here.
So shooting in the woods sometimes is a little tricky, huh?
Yeah. It can be. To turn my helmet.
What is that called?
Gotta turn my cap, baseball cap, to the side. Ooh, no, it's not gonna. Dee-dee-dee. Did you know there's a stake in the ground here?
No. Why don't you go show that to people?
Oh, it's a stick. I thought it was a stake. Don't laugh at me. Okay.
You almost fumbled. You know, when you go through the offensive line and you're carrying the football, you got to make sure it's like that.
I'm holding it really good.
And when you're running past the defender,
Yeah.
if you're the defender, You keep that football tucked under the opposite arm.
Okay.
And if another defender's coming from that way, once I pass you, switch that over.
Got to make sure we keep care of it, huh?
Yep.
Keep it safe?
Got to keep the 1DC safe and the 1DS Mark III, which I really enjoy shooting with. So we lost a lot of light really quickly out here this afternoon with the end of daylight savings time. Ugh.
I know.
And I think the lens performed really well on my camera. I'm really anxious to see what the photos look like when we develop them digitally. And this camera, the 1DS Mark III, really isn't a low light camera, I think. And although I think the images will be kind of interesting to see. Keeping a fast enough shutter speed with this lens under low light conditions like this is definitely a challenge. Well, you've sure used a range of lenses over the last couple weeks. You used today the 35 millimeter. The other day you used the 50 millimeter. And all through October you used the 135. So what's your favorite so far?
Well, I don't know. I once I get the pictures off of this, I'll be able to tell you. But I loved the one yesterday. The 50 millimeter was.
That was really good?
Yeah, it was really good.
So, well, we'll see what Denise's verdict is on the 35 compared to the 50. Do you like the 50 better than the 135?
I might a little bit.
Yeah? It's a little easier to shoot with?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's more like what you see through your own normal focal length of your eyes. Yeah. So, yeah, 50 millimeter is a good focal length, I think.
But it's hard to choose.
Yeah.
They all have their purpose, and
I use the 50 millimeter a lot when we're hired to shoot events.
so you're going to take that one from me then from now on, huh?
Well, the reason I end up with it is because you always just hog the 70 to 200.
Oh, okay. I guess I kind of do, so.
Denise always wants the 70 to 200 when she's at an event. I'm like, I can kiss that lens goodbye. I was actually looking at MPB today because I thought maybe I could go ahead and get the old so-called magic drain pipe that Canon used to make, the old 80 to 200 f2.8 from back before they had a 70 to 200.
Oh, no.
And that actually is the telephoto zoom version of this prime lens.
Okay.
That's the same age and generation as this lens. So, and both of these lenses are held in high regard. I think for the collection, probably should get one.
We'll see.
Well, and that's it for today.
Yep, so please come back, like, subscribe, and comment.
Bye.
Yep, bye. Oh, yeah.
I probably look extremely fat because I'm on the side of the wide angle.
Talk like a goober. I bet you I look like huge. I should have been staying like this, like, trying to, and then put my hand out here. And so I can put my chin out like that. Now, how would that look if I talk like that on camera?
That's fine. You do that for every shot?